juice with each other. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, why don't you preach this Krishna consciousness to the West, to the English-speaking people? Prabhupada was surprised somehow. And then Prabhupada asked Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, how can we distribute this knowledge? We're not even independent yet. We're still under this British rule. He says, no, Krishna consciousness doesn't wait for anyone, for anything. And then later on, when he met also again, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Prabhupada in Radhakund, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had this big entourage who came to Braj for Brajamandal Parikrama. And he says, whenever you get money, print books. Oh, this is the second time. And then later on, just about a couple of months before Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left and wound up his pastimes, his lila, he was also given another letter, the same instruction to preach this Krishna consciousness to the English-speaking world. That is why the members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we have this inheritance coming from Srila Prabhupada to fulfill his mission. And even one time Prabhupada says that you have been sent. He used to call his disciples, my dear boys and girls. You have been sent by my Guru Maharaj to help me in my mission. So the whole mission of Krishna consciousness movement is to spread Krishna consciousness to the entire world. And I've seen, especially in India, we're very successful, especially in this month. We distribute lakhs and lakhs of books in India alone, where in America, where I grew up in Krishna consciousness, it will take us many, many lifetimes to distribute that much books. But it is not how much or how many you distribute, of course, that counts also, but how sincere you are in the purpose of distribution Srila Prabhupada's books. Because if one distribute books just to be know that I have distributed many, many books or thousands of books, or become proud by distributing many, many books, then the credits or the reward that's due to be received by that devotee who distribute that many books is not as much as that of a devotee who very sincerely fully surrendered to the instructions of his Guru Maharaj or Srila Prabhupada and the disciplic succession to distribute this knowledge to everyone without wanting anything in return, without expecting any even recognition. The reward that devotee will receive far exceed than to that devotee who was having vested interest to be known as, yes, I'm big book distributor. See, it says in the Bhagavad Gita that no one is more dear to me and no one will ever be than those who distribute this knowledge to others. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, again, the Guru Maharaj of Srila Prabhupada, says, only those who has life they can preach, they can give this knowledge to others. We should meditate upon this special verse from the Bhagavad Gita if we want to expedite because our purpose actually is to go back home, back to Godhead. And if one helps others to reach that goal, then also the credit that one receives, even though you may not want anything in return for yourself, the result is that you become very dear to Lord Krishna. And many devotees, they take so many risks, difficulties and austerities, especially in this month, to distribute as many books to the conditioned souls as much as possible, because they are in ignorance, they are suffering. The conditioned souls, not knowing that the purpose of human form of life, there is no hope for them. The only hope for them is when they meet a devotee of the Supreme Lord who are sacrificing time, energy, and their very self to help them to realize the purpose of human form of life, and not for them to go down to hell. Says they don't care how dangerous the place. Sometimes the place we've been is like very, very difficult to preach, or abominable places. Any circumstances or the people we meet sometimes will be ridiculed. At one time I was trying to distribute books, and the person he misunderstood me, and I got a slap or punch in the face. So we have to be tolerant in order to distribute books. It says, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, Trinarapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahisnana Amanena Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. One should be more humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. One should be ready to offer respect to others and not expecting anything or any respect towards himself. Then, because of your humility, then the person whom you're introducing Krishna consciousness may or more likely will take up the books, or will buy the books, will give a good donation. Prabhupada says also one time that my book sells for themselves. He says that. But also one time he says that people buy my books because of the person who is giving the books, who is distributing the books. Because one time, even during when Prabhupada was still around, in Mumbai, they put his books in a bookstore, and devotees were surprised. It's not moving. It's very slow compared to those devotees who are in the streets or going door to door. We do that in America. We go door to door, knock on the doors of the grihamedis, or householder lives. It doesn't matter whether they're Christians or Hindus or Muslims. It doesn't matter what kind of philosophy or what kind of religion they follow. And they will open the door, and sometimes we would be also invited inside, and we'll be able to describe the contents of the books. So sometimes in one day, very few books are going out. Some days, many books goes out. So we should not be attached to the result. Ultimately, the person who buys the books Actually, they are inspired from inside, within themselves by the Paramatma. Paramatma is one of the features of the Supreme Lord. He's a super soul. He is the permitter. He is the controller. He's also the observer. So when we distribute books, we pray also to the Paramatma, who's within the heart of the person whom we are trying to convince to buy the books. We pray to the Paramatma, oh my dear Lord, please inspire this person to buy a book. Because only with your inspiration given to this person, he may take up to Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, if he miss this opportunity, then it may take him many, many, many millions of lifetimes again before he will meet a devotee. But Prabhupada says also that even if they just touch the book, like say a Bhagavad Gita, you're trying to introduce him to the Bhagavad Gita, he will get so much benefit because these books are none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord. There's no difference between the Supreme Lord himself, Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, and the book Bhagavad. There are two kinds of katha or books about the Supreme Lord. One is that the Bhagavad Gita, which is Krishna Tattva, talks about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the truth about Him, and many more. But then there are the books that describes his pastimes or lila or his devotees' pastimes. And that is Srimad Bhagavatam. So somehow or other, we should be determined to pursue the distribution of books. And not just only during the book marathon time, Prabhupada's book distribution marathon, December. It should be ongoing. We are in a marathon for life, but especially we do it in this time because it's the holiday season. In some parts of the world, they have 2 or 3 times marathon during the year. But it became like this, it became a tradition because of the season. It's a holiday season. And the West is a Christmas time, people in a jolly mood, people are, like to spend as gifts. So similarly, we also do it here in India or in all over the world. Because this is, we inherit this from Srila Prabhupada, because mission of Srila Prabhupada is to spread Krishna consciousness. So his disciples or grand disciples or followers of Srila Prabhupada, we do this also. And that's why it is called our family business. This is our family business, book distribution. Just like the materialists, their fathers, they have business, and it's been inherited through many, many generations. So they have their own business, but their business is not going to give them full satisfaction, even though some of them may have accumulated so much profit monetarily, money-wise, but at the same time, they are not happy. Unlike when we do this book distribution, the process that we Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
I'm giving a class. Come if you like to come. Okay. The book distribution becomes our inheritance, our family business. So we have to somehow understand that this preaching, we call it preaching or outreach, this is the best service to the Lord. Actually, the whole movement is a Sankirtan movement. But those who goes out and distribute books and take the risk in the front line, they get the most reward. We call it the whole movement of Sankirtan because everyone facilitates each and everyone to preach, to distribute this knowledge. It's like the kitchen, devotee kitchen. Or for you, most of you are grihastas or living at home. If no one will cook, then how are you going to survive? So similarly, in a mandir or in a temple, if no one will cook, then how are we going to maintain our health or body? And then how will we be able to get out? So everyone gets benefited. And the Lord will immediately be extremely satisfied with one who engages in this service of preaching Krishna consciousness. There is this verse again. Nachatasman manushyesu kaschinmi priya kritama. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. It says here that if one sincerely tries his best to spread Krishna consciousness by preaching the glories of the Lord and his supremacy, even if he is imperfectly educated, he becomes the dearmost servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's like in the early days, there is this one girl, little girl, daughter of Shama Sundar Prabhu and Mataji. Her name is Sarasvati. So it's just a young girl. But then she would preach, and she would distribute books, small books. And she would ask, do you know who is Krishna? And the person says, I don't know who is Krishna. And then she will say, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here, take one of these books. Make your life successful, even though such a young age. It's like here in Vrindavan also. We have many children who distribute books during the whole marathon time. Now, they may not know the philosophy 100%, but they know that this is very dear to Lord Krishna, and especially to Srila Prabhupada, that they would like to please Srila Prabhupada by distribution of his transcendental literatures. So they may not be highly educated, they're just young, but they're trying their best. And they distribute so many books. It's like I was in Mumbai last week, and there is this boy, I met him in Mirror Road Temple, and he introduced himself to me. He's just a young boy, I think around 10 years old. And he introduced himself to me. His name is Braja Mohan. Maharaj, you know what? I distribute books. I said, really? Yeah, last year I distributed 2,000 Bhagavad Gitas. I says, what? How did you do it? It's very simple, very easy. I just asked them to buy Bhagavad Gita, and they buy. So, because they can see the sincerity. And then he introduced me. It was yesterday. I had a Zoom conference with them. And they're all young kids. They're all like, 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old. There's about 9 of them. And I gave them a class on about Ekadasi. So this is like you have a group, right? But this group of children are so enthusiastic. They may not be like, complete with their education, university graduates or PhDs, but they know what will please Srila Prabhupada. As one performs this service for humanity without discrimination between friends and enemies, the Lord becomes satisfied and the mission of one's life is fulfilled. Yes, I've seen devotees in India. They distribute books to everyone, even to those who belong to different religions, like Muslims or Christians, because the book is universal knowledge. It talks about the soul. It talks about the purpose of human form of life. It talks about the goal that we are wanting to achieve that can fully satisfy us. So the knowledge is universal. It's meant for everyone. So when we distribute books, we don't discriminate. Oh, he is poor. Oh, he's young. Oh, he is old. Oh, he's educated. Oh, he's man. Oh, he's woman. Everyone, all the conditioned souls must be approached and given the opportunity. Ours is just a proposal. If they take it, it's for their eternal benefit. If they don't take it, maybe some other time, but always be nice to them. I don't know how you'll be able to distribute so many books, but I know one thing for sure, that there is this new age technology whereby you can distribute books even through social media to your friends who are far, far away. You can ask them also to sponsor them, and you can distribute books on their behalf to schools. Just like here in Vrindavan, one devotee, he donated 100 sets of Srimad Bhagavatams. That's quite a lot. So we're distributing those Srimad Bhagavatams to different schools, high schools or colleges, not just here in Mathura, Vrindavan area, but all over India. We have contacts in Delhi who will help us, or who is already helping us, distribution of this Srila Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, this is the easiest way to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, when you distribute books, again, you have to also know what you're giving away, what you're distributing. So you have to read. You are going to be forced to read. Yes, there are a few techniques how one can do this, especially if you really want to be effective in your approach. You must also, there's one of the slogans in ISKCON is purity is the force. Purity is the force, meaning that you must be also spiritually strong, spiritually healthy in order to do this day by day by day. I know many of the book distributors that I have met, even in North America, they will wake up very early in the morning. They will gonna have a very good sadhana. They will even chant half of their rounds, or those who are initiated in ISKCON, we chant minimum of 16 rounds, which takes about 2 hours to 2.5 hours, chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and Japamala, the 108 beads. So they would wake up early in the morning, they will chant half of their rounds before Mangal Arti. I'm sure most of you also perform Mangal Arti or this in Brahma Muhurta hour, an hour and a half before sunrise, which is the most auspicious time. It is meant for spiritual activities when everyone is still asleep and things are very, very quiet, very serene, and the mode of goodness is very prevalent. So it's easier to chant, hear and chant, perform Mangalarti, Tulsi Puja, Guru Puja, reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, and so on. Yeah, they become very strong. It's what you call sadhana. Sadhana means being regulated. So many devotees, they are like this. They get up early in the morning, prepare themselves. Because when your sadhana is good, especially early, you wake up early in the morning, you do all of these devotional practices, then you're ready to tackle everything at ease the whole day long. Maya may attack you, but you are kind of invisible to Maya. Maya will not be able to touch you if you are like this. So yes, by such preaching, the preacher becomes satisfied, and those to whom he preaches are also satisfied. This is the process of bringing peace and tranquility throughout the whole world. The reward that we achieve by doing this distribution of books is that automatically one becomes happy. The one who gives this knowledge to others and the one who receives this knowledge in the form of books, both get satisfied, both becomes happy. And this is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Anandam Budhi Bardhanam Pratipadam Purnam Ritas Badhanam Sarvatmasnam Paramparam Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. The more you do this, the purification is faster. We cannot just imagine how much dirty our heart is. It says that Prabhupada says our heart is as black as a coal. It's very difficult to get rid of the dirt by Karmakanda section of the Vedas, performing fruitive activities, or even by yoga, performance of achieving yogic mystic or perfection. It's by chanting in the holy name of the Lord and by giving this knowledge to others. Our heart becomes easy to cleanse. And those who receive this knowledge also, then it's the beginning of their sublime life. The purificatory process already started. Even if Prabhupada says, even if they just read one sloka from my books, they become benefited. Even one word they read, they become benefited. Even if just reading one line or a sentence, Prabhupada says, even if just reading one letter, their life will become successful. They'll be happy. They'll be satisfied. So people generally are ignorant of Krishna consciousness, and therefore, to become their best well-wisher, one should teach them about Krishna consciousness without discrimination. Prabhupada would also sign his letters, your ever well-wisher. There is no other friend out there except the devotees of the Supreme Lord. Real friend will help you to get out of miseries of life and help you to go back home, back to Godhead, and helps you to not you to go to hell. The whole world is going to hell. They don't know that it is sinful to eat meat, to take intoxication, to have illicit sex, to gamble, and all these are all sinful activities. They think that this is normal. Everyone is doing it, so this must be normal. There is nothing wrong about it. But no, one must understand that actually these are 4 pillars of sinful life. And to become free from this and to add Krishna in their life by chanting the holy name of the Lord, then their life will become successful. Their life will become sublime. Srila Prabhupada says that these books actually are, well, these books, he says that I read my own books. Who's author reading their own books? No one. Why is it that I'm reading these books? Because actually I did not write these books. Krishna wrote these books. And he says that, yes, by reading my books, one can go back home, back to Godhead, by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra along, by reading his books, because he said, if you read these books, you'll be convinced to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is the Yuga Dharma. So, preaching purifies our existence, it solidifies our knowledge and increases our faith in Krishna. The more we give this knowledge to others, and the more our faith increases. Preaching also accelerates our advancement in devotional service. So this is very, very important. The preaching that we're doing or the outreach that we're doing is beneficial for everyone. It is not that we're doing this for our own benefit, but also for the benefit of the entire world. And because we're doing it voluntarily, in Krishna consciousness, we don't get any salary. So anyone who distributes books without any self-motivation, but only to please Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and the disciplic succession, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, then definitely they get purified and they get spiritual emancipation. They'll go back home, back to Godhead. So, Mataji asked me to say something about Guru Maharaj. Usually I don't. Even though I started to travel with him in 1997. It's been 34 years now. Now it'll be 35 years, 2022. One thing I can tell you though, that our Guru Maharaj never stopped preaching. From the morning that we wake up, and he will always come for Mangalartik. It doesn't matter what time we take rest. When we travel to America, to Russia, US, Canada, minimum we sleep at midnight, not before that. Because his work continues up to that time. No, I have a class. After. Shh. Close the door, please. Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. I'm sorry.
I'm coming from Radhakunda.
Listen, I'm giving class.
So you are giving class, huh?
Please go.
There is an emergency service.
Prabhuji,
That I bought.
I,
You don't want to meet me?
after 5 minutes,
After 5 minutes, yeah.
go.
I came all along.
After 5 minutes. Prabhuji, I can see. Close the door. Don't open the door. I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's okay.
There is this devotee. So we never sleep not before midnight because he works all day long, and that's the time also to contact India. Many activities going on during the whole day, starting from Mangalartik. Then he will go for his japa walk, and then he will give class, and then he will meet devotees. It's non-stop, all day long, non-stop. That is not possible to comprehend his energy, his enthusiasm. He's very inspiring. He inspired many devotees all over the world, even his own God brothers. How is he doing this? Because usually at his age, many of his God brothers, they will limit their preaching time at a certain time. They will retire for the day. But for him, it doesn't matter. Whoever wants to see him, this is one of his great qualities, that he never rejects anyone who wants to see him. So sometimes, even here in Vrindavan, I know he's very tired. So one time there is some devotees who want to see him, and it's already late in the evening, and still, because of so much service, he didn't have time to eat. So I told the devotees, please wait. And then when I came to see him, he says, are there anybody out there? He says, yes. I told him to wait. No, let them in. But then I says, Guru Maharaj, you have to eat. You have not eaten. No, that I can do later. Let them in. So one time also, and when I started traveling with him, I remember there's plenty of prasad everywhere. Prasadam here, prasadam there, everywhere there's prasad. The only thing that is lacking is sleeping. I don't know. I mean, he's transcendental, of course, so he can sleep less time. And I was just like new in my service. There's only Guru Maharaj and I when we were traveling in those days. No one else. I do carry the luggage, I do everything, so I'm always tired. So whenever I have a time, I'll be sleeping. I'll be like nodding off. And then he would tell me, Janardana, why every time I see you, you're sleeping? I said, Guru Maharaj, I need more sleep. What can I do? And then here in Vrindavan, I knew he was very tired. But in those days, again, in the early days, he would wake me up. Mangal Artik, I was supposed to be up before him, but he would wake me up because I'm so tired. So later on, only that, I became used to the routine, then I get up on my own. I don't have to be woken up. So it's a little embarrassing, the spiritual master waking you up. And then here in Vrindavan, I knew he was very tired. So he told me, okay, you wake me up tomorrow or the next day, okay? But then I said, oh no, the next day I said, well, he must be really tired. I should not wake him up. I should not wake him up because this is not, I mean, I will let him sleep to get him some extra rest. So close the door. Haribol, close the door. Close it. So I said, I'm not going to wake him up. So he missed the Mangal Artik. He missed the Mangal Artik. And then what happened is that Mangal Artik passed, and then he woke up by himself. He says, why you didn't wake me up? Well, I said, well, I thought, Guru Maharaj, you need some extra rest. So I just didn't wake you up. I didn't want to disturb you. And he says, you know what? Here, Krishna Balaram Mandir, I never miss the Mangal Arti. I'm always there. So that must be the first time Guru Maharaj missed the Mangal Arti while he was here. So it's really amazing. I mean, even nowadays, at his age, too much traveling that we did, too much. We usually go 25 cities in 2 months. It's like almost unbelievable. We go really fast traveling. But nowadays, because of this pandemic, there is no traveling. And maybe when the pandemic died out, then hopefully we'll start traveling again. But I don't think it'll be the same speed also. But hopefully we'll travel again and experience. One time also, not one time, few times, because I was like so much in stress. I told him, I think once or twice at least, I told him, Guru Maharaj, that was in the plane, returning back to India. I says, Guru Maharaj, I don't think I'm going to be able to travel with you next year. You know, because I'm feeling it's too much. I cannot handle it too much. You know, it's like my mind is shouting. My mind is shouting, no, this is too much. I cannot handle this anymore. But then I thought, well, the next year came and says, no way. I have to travel again with Guru Maharaj. I don't want to miss this for in no means at all. I have to do it. So it's such a great opportunity to be with him, to see how a pure devotee of the Lord really dedicated himself 101% fully. There is no private life with Guru Maharaj. I've seen him in action, day out, day in. It's the same, no pretension for him. He's a real genuine. We're very fortunate to have a very sincere, dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada to be amongst us in this lifetime. We can really witness. I witness it myself. There's no, he doesn't have any hidden agenda whatsoever. And that made him a very successful in spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. Not just in India, but all over the world. He has many disciples and followers because of his purity. So we should follow in his footsteps, try to be like him, not to imitate him, but be strong in sadhana, chant our rounds sincerely, the prescribed number, to those who took the vow of initiation, minimum 16 rounds, read Srila Prabhupada's books every day, then we will become very effective in the way how we present Krishna consciousness to others. And that will help you to distribute many books as well, especially in this marathon time, book distribution. Marathon, Srila Prabhupada. So I will stop here now. If you have any questions or comments, oh, you have so many questions here, eh?
We will, thank you, Maharaj. We'll just read out the questions to you.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you so much for.
is it okay?
Yes, thank you so much for blessing us and inspiring us and talking so much of Guru Maharaj. It was such a nice to hear. It's a nectar to hear from you. And I'm introduced my group here, Maharaj. They are actually all get up. It's been more than 230 days like now. We have been up every day after Mangal, like 4:30 in the morning. They do Mangalarti and 5 a.m. They join me for chanting session.
Wow.
Yeah, from 5 a.m. to 6:45 almost every day. We do all the morning program, whole aartis, all the Guru Ashtak and Tulsi Aarti, Guru Vandana, everything we do. And we read Prabhupada quotes also, and we discuss on that. We do the Shikshashtakam and do the meaning of that also, one verse. And we were doing
Rasa Priya also comes?
Yeah, Rasa Priya is there. He is watching.
I can see him. He's right there.
He's
I
there.
can see him. He's right there.
Yeah, Meenakshi, just unmute him.
Yes, Mother, yeah, just do it.
So my group is actually very sincere. They're all, most of them, they are chanting 16 rounds. And they want initiation also, many of them. They are for that. And Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj is quite happy with all of them. Some of them met him. And they have done, Maharaj, more than 600 Bhagavatam sets this year with me. Rasa Priya Prabhu is there. And their Bhagavad Gita target we did 6,000 last year. So this year also my group targets like at least 5,000 to 6,000 Bhagavad Gitas we will do.
Really? Wow.
We're trying hard. And they're all, I must say, they're all new. In lockdown, they came together with me and all learning Krishna consciousness. So now we will read any questions are there. If Rasa Priya Prabhu wants to talk to you, he can ask anything. Yes, Rasa Priya Prabhu.
Very well coming and giving us so much of nectar.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
So let's have Meenakshi Mataji, please. If anybody wants to see the questions and just...
Yes, I'll just read out the question. Priyanka Mataji is asking basically that sometimes some gets ready to sponsor Bhagavad Gita at once, but how to motivate them to read also Bhagavad Gita so that next year also they are willing to donate rather than that time they are irritated, or last time we did, now we don't want to do it.
So you may tell them that reading is very important. Giving is good, but more important is reading, because when you read, you associate with Lord Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, right? I mean, it is good to give, but also we should study these books ourselves, because it helps us to be pure. It helps us to ultimately become free from the cycle of repeated birth and death. By just giving, it helps us, but when you read, your progress is rapid. It is faster. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj, for this answer. Okay. Ritu Mataji is asking that people say we do not believe in God, then how to preach them and give them Bhagavad Gita?
You may say also, I don't believe you have a father because I don't see him. But I know you have a father, that's why you are here. So similarly, we all have the same common father, all of us. My father's 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 father, and your father's 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 father. If we all connect, it will all come to Lord Krishna. He is the common father. Aham bija pradapita. You are a person and God is also a person. I don't believe you didn't come from no personality. Do you have a personality? You must have come also from a person. a being. So why do you think there is a law of nature? Why do you think some are poor, some are rich, some are educated, some are uneducated? Because there's a law of karma. And when you say law of karma, whose law? Who is the giver of law? That is the Supreme Lord. That is God. And His God is the Father for everyone, whether you're a Hindu or a Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter what you belong to. We have one common Father. And He wants us to go back home, back to the spiritual world. Just like a father, he doesn't want the child to suffer, to be miserable. We are in miseries right now. Why? Because our life here in this world is temporary. So our Father, God, wants us to go back home, back to Godhead. So please read this Bhagavad Gita, and you will meet your Father soon.
Fabulous answers, Maharaj. Next question by Chandni Mataji is, doing book distribution on our own is good, or we should always do along with the devotees or in group?
You can do distribution of books. There's no hard and fast rules in distribution of books, whether you alone or with someone. But there is a great advantages when you do it with someone. You become inspired. Your enthusiasm grows. You actually become more alive. If you're alone, actually you're not alone. It'll be you and Maya, your mind. The mind can trick you. Oh, no one is receiving books, or no one is accepting books after so many tries. Oh, okay. The mind will say, okay, you just go home and watch TV. Not much to do. It's not successful. But if you're with someone, it's like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur to do Sankirtan together. Just imagine how powerful that combination, Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur. So when you're alone is very difficult. It is possible to distribute books, but it's very, very difficult. But if you distribute books with many, then your enthusiasm multiplies so much more. So it's better you distribute with devotees, or at least another person, especially going door to door. Remote. Yes?
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj answers is like rocket. It just directly launches. Okay, Maharaj. The next question is by Abhishek Prabhu. He wants to know some of your past experience from book distribution, where you faced some hurdle and how did you overcome from it?
The best thing is that when you distribute books, you have to feel the pulse of the person whom you are giving the book. If he's a challenging person, don't waste your time. If he is a simple person, if he is favorable and you think that you'll be able to convince him to take the book, take time with him. Okay? There are many demons out there. I've seen people whom I approach, they take the book and they tear the book. And they throw the book like this. They're so fanatics, you know. In the West, you can find this. Or, you know, sometimes they just want to get rid of you. So they buy the books, but then you'll see the books in the garbage. This is in America. We've seen them like this. Never give a book for free. Prabhupada says, if you give a sweet mango, no one will take it. Or they may take it, but they will throw it away. because they think, oh, this is not sweet anyway. Why is he giving it for free? You should always ask for donation. In America, we ask for donation. Some people, they give lots of money. Some people give $100 bills, you know. But here in India, there's a certain amount, fixed amount that we ask for, just to help the printing of the book. So there were so many instances that we've seen demons while distributing books, real demons. You know, as I told you, I got a punch on the face. Luckily, I didn't get knocked out. Then I run after him. I saw the police, and I told him, he punched me. And he says, okay, well, if you want to go through it, then you have to go to the court. No, the police didn't help us. It's useless. But anyway, just be simple in your approach, be humble, and you'll be rewarded. You should pray, oh Krishna, please send me a nice person. Oh Lord Krishna, I want to give this to the nicest people today. Please send them to me. You should pray like this. And if you're sincere, Krishna will send you. And even if you distribute one book while out there distributing books, Krishna will be very happy. It's like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. If he sees that one of his disciples distribute even one pamphlet, he will be very, very happy. And if you, by distributing books, if you can make one devotee, one pure devotee out of thousands of books that you distributed or will distribute, if you can make one pure devotee, your going back to Godhead is guaranteed. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj. I think so. It's getting late for you also. Tomorrow is for the Mangal Aarti. You will be late, I believe, if we go on.
Okay.
So we can end the session here if you're okay, Guru.
One or two more questions.
If you can take one or two, it's fine.
Okay, Maharaj, we'll end with the last question. Sorry. Okay, Poona Mataji is asking, what is the most important instruction you remember that you got from Guru Maharaj during your book distribution times regarding book distribution? Some instruction from Guru Maharaj to you regarding book distribution.
I should say we have to be very spiritually strong ourselves. As I mentioned earlier, our sadhana should be very, very strong. The more we are spiritually strong, the more we will be effective in how we distribute. People will become convinced immediately when they see from your eyes, when they see from your face that you are very determined, you are very convinced of what you're doing, they will take the book immediately. Sometimes you don't even have to say anything. You just give the book, people will take, and then you just say donation. Without even saying donation, they will give donation. This is the power of very strong devotee who is spiritually very, very strong. So be strong in your sadhana, okay? That's number one. Don't take it for granted every day, because this molds your life. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, thank you so much.
All right.
Very insightful. The last answer which you gave, that we all have to be very strong in our sadhana. We all have to be very sincere. So it will automatically help to convince others. Thank you so
You have to be determined.
Yes.
Be determined. Okay?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, you all.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for joining with us, blessing us, and they all wanted to meet you. They are very happy. If anybody wants to say anything, we can unmute one or two. Who wants to say something to Maharaj, they can put up their hands. So just one or two hands. And there is Maharaj. I would like to introduce you. Few on my screens I can just see. This is Narayan Prabhu. If you can read, he's from Mauritius. He's a young IT professional from Mauritius. He joins every day in the morning for with us at 5 a.m. and his timing is like 3:30 a.m. He gets up and he goes for a job also after that. But every day he joins at 3:30. His 3:30 hours is 5 o'clock. He joins us at 7 o'clock. And he chants.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
The temple goes there. And also he will do and he's doing a lot of Bhagavad Gitas and Bhagavatams these days. And on my screens, I can see there are many from Chennai, Jammu. We have from all parts of the world. We have people here, from all parts of India, and some from London also. They are watching you. From US also, there are people who are watching you with us on the Zoom.
Great. Okay.
So
Thank you.
yeah, if anybody wants to say something, one or two.
Neha Mataji has raised her hand. Yes, Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. Really blessed to hear about Guru Maharaji. Those are nectar words. We have never, we want to hear many, many things about Maharaji, and Mataji shares a lot of videos with Maharaji, wherein Maharaji is doing aartis and giving lectures, some old precious moment, and we are really blessed to have Mataji. And today we got your darshan and we got to know here about Guru Maharaji. Is really blissful, really, really blissful. Dandavat Pranam Maharaji.
Thank you. Thank
Mataji.
you.
She's from Panchkula, Maharaj. She has actually recently she's been awarded as the global something intelligence. She's a IT professional there. We
Very
have
good.
Neelam Roila Mataji who wanted to say something. Just put her on. Just one more, and then we will take we'll let you go, Maharaj, then.
Neela Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Actually, I am fortunate enough. I saw you in Dubai. You were coming out from Srinathji temple after giving morning Bhagavatam class. So I got to, I did not speak with you that time, but I just met you face to face. You were just standing in front of me. What a beautiful experience that today hearing you is like out of the world. I wish that we have more sessions with you. So thankful to Mataji. Today your session was lovely. I have no words. I'm lucky enough I met you just face to face in front of me. I saw you because Dubai you have come many times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So recently we moved to India from Dubai, but in Dubai we are fortunate enough to have association of many Maharajas and all that.
Yes.
So thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Your session was lovely. I wish we have more of the sessions in near future.
Some other time.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, sure, Maharaj.
You're
Some
blessed
other
to have
time.
them.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Continue your progress in Krishna consciousness. Okay?
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Maharaj.
You're blessed.
Vantakalpatarubhyascha kipasindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Bhakti Anugraha Janardana Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hari
Thank you,
Bol.
Maharaj. Thank you. Your darshan from Vrindavan, they were blissful. Very well. Thank you so much. So thank you everybody for joining in. And it was wonderful. And please cameras on rakha karo jab aapko bola jaye, because it did not give a good impression. Some were keeping their cameras off. Some were talking on the phone while being here in the Zoom. They forget that they are being watched. Everybody can see them. So just a bit of social Vaishnava etiquettes plus social etiquettes we should keep. We should try to follow. So thank you very much. We'll meet again in the morning. Though बहुत सारे लोगों को आना चाहिए था, फिर भी 100 पूरा नहीं हुआ. We were less, And on YouTube also people were there. But YouTube I never wanted to switch on, but again I thought यहाँ पर पूरा पड़ गया तो we will have more people. Then for that I switched on to YouTube also. So thank you everybody. we'll meet again in the morning at 5 a.m. So जैसे महाराज ने कहा, strong japa होना चाहिए, strong sadhana. Sadhana means japa. Japa means in the Brahm Muhurat after Mangal Aarti. So everybody should be up for the Mangal Aarti, and the japa should be there in the Brahm Muhurat के time में. Then only that is our sadhana. और sadhana strong होगी तो book distribution अपने आप अच्छी होगी. When we will try, we will convince others. That's what he wanted to say. And he's been traveling with Guru Maharaj, as he said, since 97. He's been traveling with, and alone, both of them travel alone. Like both of them, they go together. So sirf wohi do log hote hain. So as what I said, that's what he told. That Maharaj is transcendental. Guru Maharaj is transcendental. So thank you very much, everybody. Let's end the session here. And cameras, please, sabko on rakhna chahiye. Again and again, I am saying many cameras were off.
I have a list of devotees whose cameras were off.
I understand some are writing, they had some problems. Yes, I can understand. But it's okay. We should try to keep our cameras on. If some, जो कहीं और strategically fix कर दें camera जहाँ पर कोई और बीमार है तो वो नहीं दिखे, but rest can be, you can be seen. No, we should place the camera like that. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll end the session here. Vancha kalpa tirubhaksha kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Vaishnav Thakur ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. God Premanande. Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.